Hi, I'm martial arts master Bill FitzPatrick, and this is Real Estate Investing Mistake. Mistake number 1. If you have the persistence and the determination to become a black belt, you have the persistence and the determination necessary to become a black belt millionaire. Now, as your teacher, I want you to realistically see the challenges ahead. I want to share with you the good. Copy that. I want to share with you the bad and the ugly. Avoid that. As a martial artist, you know, if you compete, you're not going to win every fight. I've mentioned that I sparred often as a brown belt. I was good, but there were always guys who were better than me, and I lost. Not terribly, but I lost. Maybe I'd come in 6th, 7th, or 8th place. However, not winning the trophies did not stop me. I persisted, earned a black belt, and eventually, over time, became a martial arts master. This is what I'm asking you to do. Persist. Take risks. Make mistakes. Learn from your mistakes and keep going. Persist. It's common sense. It's reality. In business and real estate, successful people are willing to make mistakes and then to learn from those mistakes. I made mistakes. I recently brokered the sale of a 6-family house for $525,000. I bought this house 40 years ago for $25,000. Wow, oh my goodness, sounds like a great deal. Buy for $25,000, sell for $525,000. Wow, $500,000 profit on one property. Now the problem was that I no longer own this property that I just sold. When I bought the property, the 6-family house for $25,000, at that time I was a high school teacher. After school and on weekends, I worked on my properties. After a few years of updating the units and the mechanicals in the building, well, once again, my great real estate agent, Don Nato, without the property even being on the market. Have you heard this story before? Don told me that he had a great buyer willing to pay top dollar. Well, I bid. I sold the property for $105,000. My net profit was about $50,000, not $500,000. And I'm just rounding off the numbers here. Even after selling expenses, commissions, and capital gains taxes, let's say I made, $40,000. Let's put the deal into the proper time sequence. This deal took place back in the early 1970s. Back then, I was making $10,000 a year as a high school teacher with a master's degree. So, on this one real estate deal, do the math, I made the equivalent of 4 years of my teaching salary. So, yeah, I thought I was a real estate genius. I thought I was Donald Trump. Well, of course, back in the early 70s, there was no one who knew who the hell Donald Trump was. So, there I was. I jumped at this deal from Don. And that was a mistake. Take your 20 minutes of quiet time a day? Well, I should have. Think, Bill. What is Don doing? Now, I can't blame Don. Don was a real estate agent. A real estate agent wants to make commissions. Why was selling this property my mistake? Not blaming Don, my mistake. Well, let me tell you, this property was as close to perfect as you were probably ever going to get. The property was located in the center of town. You could walk to shopping and the train. It had a stucco exterior, almost no maintenance. It was an unusually good property because it was actually built as a 6-family house, a well-built 6-family. It wasn't some, what you often see, crazy chopped-up conversion. There were 6 identical 1-bedroom units, all separate utilities, basement storage, coin-op laundry. and had a very small yard for minimal upkeep, yet there was plenty of off-street parking for all 6 units. And these units were affordable for one person or a couple. Every year, year in, year out, I'd say always 100% rented, 0 vacancy rate. Every month, month after month, after year, after decade, 6 happy tenants paying rent. Again, it was probably as close to a perfect multifamily investment property as you could ever find. You know, if you watch my Real Estate Millionaire Tip series, I'm always talking about properties being cash machines. This property has been churning out profits for over 80 years and will probably, I'd say, easily go on for another 80 years. This was a keeper, and I sold it. That was a mistake. But what could I have done? Well, I probably should have refinanced the property, taken out enough to use as my next down payment, and then over time have paid off the mortgage. And by refinancing rather than selling, there wouldn't have been any capital gains taxes. What's the moral here? Well, when you're smart enough to acquire an excellent property, you keep it. This was my mistake.